Hello there, crocheters. So today we're going to make this top vest, and this is size extra small, and you can make it in any other size. You can make it even in a larger size because it is just a repeat of 2 rows. It is so simple. As long as you have your bust measurement and just a little bit of mark here and there, and you're going to make it. It's so simple. It's just a repeat of a double crochet row and a cross double crochet row. And also you can take your measurement from up the upper part of your nipple to your shoulder, so that you can make this area from your underarm to your shoulder. If you're making a size extra small or small, you can use these measurements, the number of rows I'll be using in this tutorial. But if you're making other bigger sizes like medium and large, for like medium you'll have to add like 5 more rows, or size large you'll have to add even 10 more rows. It is not a must for it to be cropped. You can even make it up to like here, like as long as you want. You can make it up to your waist area. Like, you just have to continue doing more rows if you want it to be a little bit longer, and you can continue trying it on yourself. It is just one panel. You're just going to work it as a one panel. There's no joining of panels anywhere. You're just going to work it as one. So let's just get straight into the video. So to start us off, you're going to need some measurements. So I'm going to take my bust measurement minus 4. So my bust measurement is 34 minus 4, that is 30. So I'm going to chain until I get 30 inches. And the yarn I'm using is color, I think this is milk cotton yarn, color 62. They recommend a 3mm hook, but I'm going to use a 4.5mm hook. Use a little bit bigger hook than the recommended one, so that the top is not so tight, like it looks a little bit flowy. So use a little bit of a larger hook than the recommended one. You can go like 1mm higher than the recommended one. So when it comes to your measurement, take your measurement. Don't mind how my tape measure looks. My son ate it, and that's life. So take your measurement and then minus 4, and just make sure it is an even number. You can divide it by 2. So if we, let's say you have a total of 40 inches, when you minus 4, you have 36. So you're going to chain until you get 36. So I'm going to make a chain of 120, and that will give me my 30 inches. So you're going to make a slip knot, and then chain 120. So continue chaining, and then I'll meet you when you reach the number of chains. Please make sure you take your measurements, because I actually get some of you guys saying I wanted to make size large, and when I used the number of chains it came out small. My 30 inches. So for that, you're just going to start off with row 1. So for row 1 you're going to chain 3. That chain 3 is considered as a stitch. So you're going to make 1 double crochet in every stitch until the very end. So because this chain 1 is a stitch, so I'm going to skip 4, and then on the 5th one I'm going to make the first double crochet. I'm skipping 4 because the chain 3 is a double crochet, and then the first chain is considered as the first chain for this double crochet. So I'm going to make 119 more double crochets, because the 120th one has been carried by that chain 3. So I'm going to make 119 more double crochets, or whichever number of double crochets you have to make, until I get to the very end. So do double crochets until the very end. The double crochet is here and over. Insert your hook, pull through 2 and pull through 2, like that. When you're done with your double crochets, I have 120 double crochets. You're going to chain 3. After chaining 3, you're going to turn your work, and now you're going to do rows of crossed double crochet. And how you do a crossed double crochet is you skip one, do a double crochet on the next stitch, and then come and do another double crochet on the stitch that you have skipped. So the next stitch was supposed to be this one, so I'm going to skip it, and I'm going to do double crochet on the next one, and then I'm going to come back and do double crochet on the previous one, like that. So you're going to do in every 2 stitches you're going to do a crossed double crochet. So skip one, do a double crochet in the next one, come back and do one on the previous one. That is just it. So do this in every stitch until the very end. Do crossed double crochet in every stitch. I'm almost at the end. I have 3 stitches left, 1, 2, because the chain 3 is also a stitch, so I have 3 stitches left. So I'll just do the last crossed double crochet. After I've done the last crossed double crochet, I'm going to do one more double crochet at the very end here, like that, and then chain 3 again, turn your work, and then do 1 double crochet in every stitch. Not here, right here. So that is just it. 1 double crochet all through, and then when you get to the very end, turn your work and do 1 crossed double crochet until the very end. So this is just going to be a repeat of these 2 rows, a row of double crochet and a row of crossed double crochet. So you're going to repeat this until you get to 15 rows. I'm going to do a total of 15 rows, and I'll let you know the measurement after 15 rows. So I'll meet you when I have the last row will be a row of double crochet. I'll meet you then. So I finally did a total of 15 rows, and so I'm going to divide this into 3. So what you are clearly working with here is 1 piece. Okay, it's a 1 piece. So where we are at now is right here. We've already worked up to that point. So what we're going to do now, we're going to divide this into these 3 segments. So you're going to take the number of chains that you have. As you remember, mine was 120. So the number of chains that you have, you're going to divide this by 2. So take your number of stitches, divide by 2. What you get is going to be what you're going to leave here in between. So here for me is going to be 60, and then the other remaining one, divide it by 2, and then here 30. So do that, divide your number of stitches by 2, and then by 2 again, because this is the back panel, and then these are the 2 front panels. So I'm going to divide my outfit like that. So I count 30, place a stitch marker, count 60, and then count 30 again. So do that. I also remember the chain 3 is a stitch, so I'll start counting from here. So already divided that outfit like that. So you're going to start you're going to work on it in terms of segments. So you work on this side, you work on this side, and then you work on this side. You cannot work it as one because you have to like have this space here. So the only difference you're going to do when you're working on these rows is for the first row you're going to do a little bit of a decrease at the point where you have the stitch markers. This is because you want this point to be a little bit curved. You see, you don't want it to be just a straight line, you want it to be a little bit curved. So you're going to do a little bit of decreases here where we do slip stitches and single crochets right here. So the first row you're going to do, because before you start working on single segments, is to make this curve here. So just start from the very end with double the next row is a row of crossed double crochet. So just start with crossed double crochets, and then make sure you leave at least six stitches before you get to the next stitch marker. So do cross double crochet and then leave 6 stitches, and I'll meet you when you have 6 stitches to where you have your stitch mark. So I'm almost getting to the stitch marker. I did the last cross double crochet, and now I have 6 stitches left until I get to the stitch marker. So on these stitches we're going to do we're going to decrease, like in terms of stitches we're going to go smaller in sizes so that we can bring that curved space right below the underarm. So on the next one we're still going to do crossed stitches, but then you're going to do half double crochet, single crochet, and slip stitch. So to do a crossed half double crochet, you're going to do half double crochet on the next stitch, and then come and do half double crochet on the stitch that you had skipped, like that. It's just the same thing but with a different stitch. And then when it comes to single crochet, how to do a crossed single crochet, you do a single crochet on the next one, and then you come back and do a single crochet on the one you skipped. And then when it comes to doing slip stitches, you do a slip stitch on the next one like that, and then you come and do a slip stitch on the previous stitch like that. You see? So half double crochet, single crochet, slip stitch. And then where the stitch marker is, you're going to do 1 slip stitch and then return our stitch marker. And then we're going to continue, because we had decreased here, we're going to also decrease here before we start doing the double crochets, so that the decrease is on one point like this. So also after the stitch marker, you're going to do the same thing we did on this side, which is decreasing the slip stitch first. So we start first with a slip stitch, and then we do single crochets. So you do single crochet on the next one, come back, do single crochet on the previous one like that, and then half double crochets, do half double crochet on the next one, come back and do a half double crochet on the previous one like that. You see? And then now continue with the normal crossed double crochet. You just continue the normal cross double crochet until you get to the next stitch marker. So you see what that has done here. There's you can see that kind of a ditch there. Maybe you cannot see it clearly, but then there's an effect after this. So I'll continue until I get to this stitch marker here, and then on this stitch marker I'll do the same exact thing. So now I have 6 stitches left. Remember, where the stitch markers are is part of the middle back panel, the middle part, which is the back panel. So the way the slip stitch covered here, so I have 1 2 3 4 5, and then the 6th one on that slip stitch. So I'm going to do the smaller stitches here. So starting with half double crochet, single crochet, and then I do slip stitches. You can even still do them without doing a cross. You can still just do them without having them crossed. Then you mark that last stitch. I'm going to just mark, return the stitch mark on that last stitch, and then we continue with first doing single crochets. Especially when the slip stitches are hard to do them cross, so you can still just do the slip stitches without crossing. It's still okay. Even the single crochet is still okay. It's not such a big deal. So after decreasing like that, we're just going to continue the same way. We are doing the same crossed double crochets until the very end. So after we are done with this row, is when you're going to separate the different parts. So when you get to the very end, you're going to chain 3. So we're going to work on this first side, which is, for me, this is the left side. So what you're going to do, you're going to work double crochets until the very last double crochet 2 together. So you won't touch the half double crochet, the single crochet, and the slip stitch. You are not going to touch these stitches. So for me, I'm going to have a total of 24 double crochets, including the chain 3. You're going to have a total of 24 double crochets. That is why we're not going to have 30, because this was a total of 30. When you minus these 6 stitches, you have 24. So you're going to have a total of 24 double crochets, because we're going to leave these 6 stitches, which is the half double crochet, single crochet, and slip stitches. I'm just clarifying that so that you don't end up working on those stitches. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You're going to leave this one, so you have the left with 2 more stitches. So on this last cross double crochet, On the last cross double crochet, I'm going to do double crochet 2 together. Oh, I didn't cross. Double crochet 2 together, which is insert your yarn over, insert your hook, pull through 2 first, and then yarn over, insert your hook on the next stitch, pull through 2, and then pull through 3, like that. And then you chain 3. So you see we've left this one, so just chain 3 and turn. Okay, so after turning, now you're going to work on the rows of double crochet 2 together. So now you continue doing the same thing, cross double crochet until the very end. When you come back on the next row, just a row of double crochet alone. So from this point, you're going to use your shoulder to underarm measurement. For me, it's 8. So I'm going to work 6 inches first, and then meet me when you have 2 inches remaining. So work the number of inches for your shoulder to underarm, and then meet me when you have about 2 inches remaining. So when you're doing the other rows, there's no decrease, there's no nothing, just the same thing when you're doing with these rows here. No decrease, no anything, just doing the rows like plainly, if you're getting. Yeah, so I'm done with 8 rows. So what we're going to do now, because I'll be doing 11 rows for this part, so after the 8 rows, this row is a row of just double crochet. So when you're coming back with the next because these are 3 rows, yeah, with the next row here, we're going to do a little bit of a decrease here. So on this row of just double crochet, we're going to do a double crochet 2 together, because what you're looking for here is here on the edge of where the neck area is, you just want a little bit of a slant just to bring a curve at the neck. So you're going to do just a little bit of a decrease. So you're going to decrease this one set of crossed double crochet. So make sure it is at the edge, like at the end where you're doing the decrease, not here where you have the middle part. Make sure it is at the edge. So chain 2, turn your work. So if you're coming from this side, make sure you come and decrease when you're ending. But if you are already on this side on your 8th row, you can start by decreasing, if you're getting what I'm saying. So after chaining 3, we're going to do double crochet 2 together, pull through 2, and then pull through 2 again, and then pull through all 3. So after the double crochet 2 together, we're just going to continue doing double crochets in every stitch until the very end of the row. Chain 3 again, turn your work. So after doing the last cross double crochet, I have this stitch whereby you did double crochet 2 together. So here in the middle where you have the double crochet 2 together is another stitch here. So you're going to do another one, double crochet 2 together, another one at the very end. So here the double crochet 2 together is the first one, pull through 2, and then the chain 3 is the next one, pull through 2, pull through all 3, and then chain 3 again, like that. And then now you're going to do the last one. So we did 1, 2, and the third decrease. So the third decrease again, double crochet 2 together, so pull through 2. The next one, pull through 2, pull through all 3. And this is actually the 11th row, which is the last row. So just continue and finish that last row with double crochets until the very end. And so the same thing that we did on this side, we're going to do on the other side. So we're going to work this part first before we come and work on the middle side. So just make sure one thing, because on this side you started from here going this one, that is the same direction you should be doing. So if this side you started from the edge, from the end, this side you're going to start from the stitch marker. So you're going to place your hook on the stitch marker. If you want to know you're working the correct way, when you're working, you're supposed to work when the stitches are looking on the back side of the stitches. This is the front side of the stitches. Can you see the front side of the stitches and the back side of the stitches? So make sure you're working on the back side of the stitches. And because on this side we did a decrease, which was double crochet 2 together, we're going to do it as the first thing. So you're going to attach your yarn. So just count to make sure you've skipped the 6 stitches that we did the decrease, which was the slip stitches, the single crochet, and the half double crochet, and make sure you attach your yarn where the double crochet is. Chain 3, and then do the first double crochet 2 together, which is on that first double crochet that you just attach your yarn like that. And then after that, do double crochet in every stitch until the very end. So just do 1 double crochet until the very end. So I'm almost getting to the last cross double crochet. I know our hands are too tempting that you might find yourself doing double crochet 2 together. So that is the last cross double crochet, and then where you did double crochet 2 together, just place in the middle of that, just place 1 double crochet like that, and then chain 2, or you can just do a double crochet 2 together if you want to, but you can also just place 1 double crochet like that. So doing the chain, turn your work, and then now you're just going to do rows of double crochet and cross double crochet until you get to row number 8, just as we did in the same place. And then when we go to row number 8, we'll make the slight decrease like this one on the last 3 rows. You're making a total of 11 rows. So I've done with the 8 rows, so I'm just going to do we're on the row of double crochets. So we're just going to do double crochets, and then when we get to the end, we do double crochets 2 together. Remember the other one we started with double crochet 2 together because we were starting on the edge, but then now that we are ending on the edge, you will do the double crochets 2 together on this side. Just make sure it is on this side, the outer part of the top. So turn your work and do double crochets in every stitch until you get to the very last one. You will do a double crochet 2 together on that last 2 stitches. So on the last 2 stitches, double crochet 2 together, chain 2, turn, and because you are decreasing 3 times, because you are only remaining with the 3 last rows, when you start immediately, you're also going to decrease immediately you start, like that, and then continue with crossed double crochets. And then on the last row again, you'll come and decrease at the very end. So just the same thing as you did on the other side. So you do that. I think I'll meet you when I'm completing the last row of double crochets. When we get to this last row here, we decrease again for the last time, and then that is just it. Cut your yarn, and then I are going to work on the last part. When it comes to the middle part, we're just going to do the exact same thing, but remember this side we're only decreasing on one side, on this side and on this side, but then when it comes to the middle part, you're going to do that decrease on both sides. It's only like one set decrease, whereby you only do only decrease one of the cross double crochet. So just attach your yarn. Remember, skip the places where you have single crochets and half double crochets. Attach your yarn after the last double crochet. Attach your yarn there, and then you're going to chain and then decrease this one, and then we come and decrease this last one again. After we decrease, we're just going to continue up here. We're not going to do anything in the middle part, it's just going to remain flat. So we're just going to work that row and then finish the other 10 rows. So you're going to do a total of 11 rows also in the middle part here. So make sure where you're attaching your yarn, it's on the back side of the stitches. You remember, these are the right side of the stitches and then the back side of the stitches. So make sure you're facing the back side of the stitches. So that means I'm going to attach my yarn on the side that I did the first side, this side, on that side. That is where I'm going to attach my yarn, if you're getting it. So just right after the last half double crochet, I'm going to chain 3. So make sure you skip the half double crochets and the single crochets area. After chaining 3, I'm going to do the first decrease, which is on the first set of cross double crochet. So chain yarn over, pull through 2, and then on the next stitch also yarn over, pull through 2, and then pull through all 3. So we're going to decrease on this stitch marker when you start here, and then also when you're ending on this side. Don't get to the very end. When you're ending, before you get to the last half double crochet, also going to do a decrease on that last cross double crochet. And then when you get to the last set, you're just going to do another decrease, 2 double crochet 2 together, chain 2, turn your work, and then from now onwards you just do the same thing. So the cross double crochet, immediately you're going to do it on the next one. We'll do the crossed. Do the cross double crochet, and then you just continue and get to this side. You do the cross double crochet. So this is the second last stitch. So you do this cross double crochet on this and this one, and then you turn your work, do double crochet. It's just the same thing we're doing on the other side. So you could do this until you get to the 11th row, and then because there is no other thing that is happening, I'll see you when you get to the 11th row. So now we are going to join our top. So to join, you're going to join right here in the top, but make sure you join almost half of it hanging like this. Also on this side, a little bit of it hanging like this, because this is where we're going to work the neck area. So just find out how many stitches you have, divide by 2, join up to half. So joining is so easy. I don't think I'll have to show how to join. You can use slip stitches. Turn it on the wrong side to know the wrong side. When you see the bottom of it, this is the right side, this is the wrong side, and then join as I've told you, and then I'll meet you when you want to work on the edges. So we'll work about three rounds of single crochet in the bottom part, and then around about 2 rows of single crochet on the sides, and then also here in the middle. So then I'm going to work on the sleeve. So go find the middle stitch in the underarm, chain 1, and then you're going to do 1 single crochet all around till you come back to the same place, and then after that you do 1 single crochet again in the second row and 1 single crochet again in the third row. So we're going to do 3 rows of single crochet. So yeah. So when you get to the places where you have your rows, you're going to have 2 single crochet in every row. So 2 single crochet in the spaces and 2 single crochets in where you have the double crochets. So in every row, you make sure you do 2 single crochets. So when you're done with the single crochet, you're going to slip stitch in the first single crochet, turn your work, do single crochets again, and then turn your work, do the third row. So you're going to do that on both the sleeves, and then I'll see you after you're done with that. So I did the sleeves, so I'm going to do, I did 3 rows here, so I'm going to do the middle part here. So the buttons are going to be on the left. So on the left side, I'm not going to make any buttonholes. So on the left side, I'm just going to work 4 rows without anything. And then on this side, I'm also going to work 4 rows. So I'm going to first work 2 rows, and then the third row, I'll place buttonholes, and then I'll work on the 4th row. I won't have so many of them, like 4 is enough. So I'm just going to determine how many rows I have and then divide by 4 and then figure that out. So first, working on this side. It's just so simple. Attach your yarn at the very end. And then the same way, 2 single crochets in every row, like every one of these rows, 2 single crochet. You can do in the back loop or just work through both loops according to how you prefer it. It's okay. So I already did the left side and it's done. So on the right side, we are going to do the buttonholes. I'm first going to do the first 2 rows. For those 2 rows, we are going to do the row where you're going to place the buttonholes. So when you get to the very end and you've chained 1, I'll be placing mine. So the first one will be here in this space. I skip 1, 2, 3. I place the next one here, and the third one, 1, 2, 3. I'll place 1 here, 1, 2, 3 here, 3 here. So on the rows that have the cross double crochets, where I'll be placing my buttonholes. So yeah, so what we do, chain 1, so just continue doing single crochets. So 1, 2. So I'll be placing the first one here. So chain 1, skip 1, then do single crochet in the next one. So this is enough for the button I'll be using. So keep on trying on the button to see if it will be enough space. If it's a bigger one, chain 2, skip 2. So just try that while you're doing that. So for me, from one buttonhole to the next one, I had to do 13 single crochets. So after the 13 single crochets, chain 1, skip 1, and again do 13 single crochets. When you get the very end, chain 1 and then turn and again do 1 single crochet in every stitch. When you get to the chain space, you're just going to do 1 or 2 single crochets on top of it, depending on how many chains you did there. So for example, this is my first space. So after I've done that, I'm just going to put 1 single crochet there to bring that space, and then continue. So whenever you get that space, just do that 1 single crochet, and I think that's just it, and you're done with this side. So after this, you're going to make the top part and the bottom part of the top, which is just pretty the same thing. Single crochets up to the very end, make a couple of rows, 4 rows or something. You can add more or less if you want, it's up to you. So now I'm going to work on the collar part. Not really a collar, but yeah, the top neck part. So again, insert your hook at the very start of it. You're going to make single crochets all around until you come back to this point, and then come back with almost 4 rows. So attach your yarn and chain 1, and then you come here with 1 single crochet like that. So 1 single crochet on top of every stitch. And then here in the corner, you're going to do 1, 2, then continue with that. So continue doing the same thing. I'll meet you when you get here. So when you get to the very end, again you chain 1, turn your work, and again do 1 single crochet in every stitch. So do this for 4 rows. If you like it to be a little bit thicker, you can do even 6 or 7 rows. So I finished doing the top part, and also I did the bottom part, which is just single crochets. I did 3 rows, so it's just as simple as that. So you can also make it as thick as you want. You can make it up to 5 or 7 rows. It's all up to you. So this is how it finally looks like. This cropped vest, and I think that is going to look cute. You can even make a pair of shorts, or you can make any kind of pants that you like. So that was it for this video, guys. I'll see you on the next one.